What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Creative Pineapple. Today we're going to be making a monster in its own world. So for this assignment, you might need to take a couple minutes and just imagine. So if you need to close your eyes, take a bit, imagine what this monster's world is going to look like, that's totally fine. So some things that you can think about while you're creating this are, what does the world look like? What does the monster eat? Who are the monster's friends? Where does the monster live? Do they live like in a house? Do they live in a cave? Where does the monster play? Is it like a modern world where the monster can play video games? Does it play in the trees with the birds? Does it swim around in the water? What does it build? What does it like to make? So has it built a house? Has it built a home for itself? Maybe it's built itself a little fishing game. How does the monster stay warm and comfortable? Does it have a heater? Does it make fires? What does it do for that? So think about these things. If you need to go back to the spot in the video or pause it right here to remember all the different ideas, you can do that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start making my monster here. Now I'm using a marker so it shows up well on the camera, but you should use a pencil or something that you can erase, because a lot of this is going to be erased, and especially when we're talking about space. So remember, there's 6 different ways of showing space. We've talked about 3 of them so far. Actually, up to now, we've talked about 5 of them. So you can show it by overlap, by placement, by proportion or size, by detail, by color. And then the last one that we haven't talked about yet is with perspective. So we're going to leave a little bit of space in our drawing so that we can use that one after we learn about it. So perspective is a lot of times used when you make cities or villages. So I'm going to leave some space for a village in mine. So I think I'm going to start with some hills. So usually I draw with a pencil so I can erase. So if I make a mistake on this, we're just going to have to start all over. So let's hope I don't. So I'm going to start with some hills. And so over here is where I'm going to put my city at the end. So I'm going to leave this space, at least between here, a little bit empty so I can put cities in there. Then I'm going to make like a cliff over here where my monster is chilling out. So we got a cliff edge over there. And notice how I'm leaving space between all my lines so that I can decide how I want to show space in the end. So for right now, this cliff is overlapping, and it's going to go all the way down to where this hill ends at the bottom, to the ground down there. So I can make that basically touch the ground of this hill, but it's going to overlap those other ones. Those other ones are going to go behind it. So as I pull those back up, they're going to go behind the cliff over here. Okay. Next, I'm going to draw my monster, and I'm going to draw him up here. So there's a different video about how to draw the monster, so I'm going to kind of go a little bit quick with that because you guys can watch that video on your own time. Shout out to the original YouTuber who made this monster. We're using it for our class, so awesome work, thank you. I'm going to make my monster holding a staff. So it's like a walking stick that he's holding. Maybe he's sharpened the end so it's a spear so he can go hunting with it. Put his hand wrapping around here. There we go. We will make it into a spear on the top. We'll wrap some cords around it so it looks cool. Make it brown for like leather wrapping. Oh, and then his arm. Forgot that part. Alright, so we got a monster. And then we got to think about some other things. Where does he live? What does he eat? And I'm going to say maybe he eats some little gremlin things. Ooh, and this would have been good to keep some space on the cliff because I could have had them climbing. Right now I can just draw really little ones because I don't really have much space around to draw them. So maybe these gremlins look like this and have really long tails. Put another little gremlin over here. Has its long tail. And then I'll put one. Put the body of one over here. And I'm going to show that it's closer by making it bigger. So we got size. And it's closer to the bottom of my page. So we're using placement. There we go. Okay, so we got a little gremlin over there. They kind of look like little monkey things. And then I'm going to want let me check what time it is. Whoa! Oh, I gotta go. Alright, so next I think I want to include, I'm going to have a hot air balloon over here. It's going to be kind of like a floating, let's see if I can do this without making it look sketchy. A floating house over here. I'm going to draw the top of the hot air balloon. It's going to be a little bit of a weird shape, but it'll work. Bottom of the air balloon. And then we'll put a little house right here. Put a little door in there. And there you can see I'm using size because that door is only that tall, but my character is this tall. Also remember, your monster should be about the same size as your finger. Maybe a little bit longer, but just mostly about the same size as your finger. Okay, so we got a little house. I'm going to put some windows, because if you have a house like this and it's flying, you're going to want some giant windows so you can see out to the world that you're floating above. And some of these windows are going to overlap the roof, so I'm not going to finish them all the way. I'll put another window start over here. And then if you want to make them look more like windows, you can put the cross pieces, but I don't think I want to do that. I'm going to put some shadows of some other monsters inside of there. So I'll start doing this. And remember, when it's far away, it's not as detailed. So I'm going to put only a little bit of detail. Maybe put some little arms on there, some horns. Put another little monster in this window. This one's going to have some bigger horns. Alright. And then this monster, I realized also, I think I want to give him some ears. I'm going to give him some floppy ears. Like a dog. There we go. Put some lines so I can color it in a little different. Alright. So then we have this. I'm going to put some strings to connect the balloon to the house. I'll put the top of a flame in here. It's heating up the air inside the balloon. I'll put a couple other strings in the back. And then I can decorate the balloon. I'll use my cross contour lines at the top to show the shape. Alright, so we got a balloon. And then I'm going to draw, I think I'm going to draw some trees coming out from here. And these are going to be jaggedy trees in this world. In this world, I'm going to have two suns over in the corner. One a little bit bigger and a little bit higher than the other. Because this is my own fantasy world where I can have monsters and different kinds of creatures. So I'm going to have two moons up there. I have my tree. Maybe I'll decorate this spot with some rocks. And then I just decided that one of the characteristics of this land is that the monsters and the people, one of the big structures they have is cheeseburgers. So around the town, as you go around and you explore, you find these different giant cheeseburgers that are kind of landmarks in different pieces. So I'm going to draw my lettuce. I'm going to draw a burger patty. The bottom of it's kind of covered by some of the lettuce in some places. Add some texture so it looks like a burger patty. And then we'll put some cheese. And then maybe I'll put a couple slices of tomato or onion rings on there. some pickles. I know these look unfinished, but that's because usually I don't draw the back of the object until I'm ready to draw the thing on top of it, because I don't know how much is going to be covered. Maybe I'll draw part of a pickle falling down over here. Alright, so now that I have these, I can finish my cheese. Make that come up. But see, this part I didn't need to finish because there's a pickle coming down. Then I'll finish my tomatoes a little bit, but I'm also going to start working on the bun on top. And this bun is going to go around. And that's why I didn't draw the top of the pickles, because we need to have a bun on top. And this bun is going to be a nice, fluffy, large bun with some sesame seeds in it. Alright, and we have a cheeseburger over there. And I can finish this pickle. And maybe this one, somebody carved a little door in it so that somebody could live in that cheeseburger. Because if these are the whole, like, if people find cheeseburgers all around as, like, monuments, then they might as well carve holes in them and live in them, or let their pets live in them. So maybe this monster has a dog that lives in that little cheeseburger hole. Okay. And to finish off the sky, maybe I'll put some long, fluffy clouds up there. Alright. So we have our monster living in the monster world. So that's awesome. That is what you guys are going to be creating today. And then once you're done with this, if you have time at the end, you can add color. Alright? Peace.